My name is Sam. I'm the CEO of NovaChain. And if you don't have much idea, if you're new here, if you don't know much about NovaChain is a platform where it's a new platform for content creators uh, to create content and generate income out of that content using the technology of the blockchain technology, and the AI. So yeah, it's a place for content creators, but it's something like we can say something next level than YouTube. YouTube is generally a centralized platform. We are trying to be decentralized because that's where the world is heading. The world is heading towards blockchain, AI, all that. So we're using that to our favor and to create a platform so everyone can feel free and they can make better income or more income. Okay, and yeah, so that was a slight or small introduction about NovaChain. And yeah, please, Build, welcome here, and thank you for being here. And yeah, please, you can introduce yourself. Hello, Bill. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Hey Sam, you will need to bring up Manuel to speak.
Sorry, I can't hear you properly. You said I like you want me I let Manuel speak or
Yeah, yeah, Manuel.
Manuel? Okay, okay, yeah,
Manuel
sure,
is
sure,
in
sure.
the. Okay.
Okay, sure. Hello, Manuel. Hi. Hi. I think Manuel, right?
I am so sorry. I am late. I had internet issues. I could not connect to Twitter for some reason. It kept kicking me out. So I'm here. I'm finally here. I'm so sorry about that delay.
No worries. Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice. Thank you, Build, for
Yeah.
introducing me a little bit and getting me up here. I heard you say, go ahead and bring me up. Yeah, no, I literally entered and I was hitting request like 10 times and it just wouldn't give me, it wouldn't activate. I didn't know what it was. So I just closed everything out and restarted it. And here I am. So sorry about the delay. I'm excited about today. How are you doing today, Sam?
Yeah, doing great. I'm very happy to catch up with you since I really read about the project build, and it's really really interesting. Something really new and exciting. And I would love to know more about it, and also the audience here, the attendees, they'll love to know more about it. Yeah,
Most definitely. I can't wait to
thank you.
dive into it. Obviously the build, I'm passionate about what we're building over here and we're really excited to, showcase this and be bringing it to different communities. But ultimately I'm excited, to be collaborating with you, having this AMA with you and talking with you and also highlighting the value that NovaChain also has and how our collaboration together is going to, help bring a whole plethora of innovation to each other's ecosystems.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. You can give us a please tell us about you and an idea about build, please.
Yeah, most definitely. Let me see. Let me get my notes up real quick. I always like to be prepared for everything. So obviously, we're much more than just your average bot that you always hear or decentralized platform with AI. We definitely want to set ourselves apart from what you hear when you hear AI in the ecosystem, because you hear the trending word and there's value with AI, but ultimately a lot of it's just a chat bot or a fed algorithm or fed data into an algorithm to just answer input and output. So we wanted to take AI and its real value and its true, I would say, ability to the next level. And we wanted to bring it to the hands of the builders. And so we are a decentralized AI marketplace for builders and creators to be able to come together and find value from the very start. And a lot of the ecosystem right now, as we know, is really siloed, right? In order for you, and you especially should know this as being a really mature chain and I'd say have a whole professional team of business. You look at it, you have to use multiple different third-party websites, third-party tools in order to automate or have your entire project built and facilitate a lot of the stuff that you do in order to create a project. So we wanted to figure out a way that we can kind of bring all of that together. And so in the basic highlight and overview is we decided to bring the best of the best into one place where when a builder goes to create their project, they don't have to go and have a Notion site or go and start using WhatsApp for their meetings, or start using a scheduling like Google Calendarly in order to facilitate all of their meetings. We wanted to bring everything in-house, and from the top down. And so bringing AI for not only, like we're saying, chatbot, because you're gonna utilize that regardless. It's a very powerful tool in itself. So as you're starting a project, you're going to have that to be able to feed input in that, so you're not answering questions all day, right? But taking it to the next level is the automation side of it. I know that as myself, as a marketer, in this space for almost 7 years now, a lot of times automation or communication and automating these communication meetings was a big hassle. Trying to get information to your team and effectively, on their time zone is one of the things that always kind of I had an issue with, because I'm here in America, right? So I'm in the United States. Like right now, it's 5 a.m. for me. So time zone is
Yeah,
that tricky play, right? So I
yeah.
think that was one thing that we noticed was a huge pain. Me being in the United States and me working with a lot of people either in Europe or Africa, or even I worked with Elbank for almost a year, and they're in Korea. So my time zone's like exact opposite, but I had to figure out a best way to communicate with them, but there isn't, right? And so that's kind of
Yeah.
what Build's here for, just to facilitate the entire infrastructure, and automation of a project from the ground floor all the way to launch and post launch.
That's really beautiful. So, for example, let's say I'm a company. Okay, I'm a company based in Europe, and I want to build. I have a project to work on. So, if I use your platform, Build, then I can have everything in one place. I can have marketers. I can work on my brand there. I can do. I can hire Sorry, what they call that? Not
Coles,
influencers.
Coles,
Yeah, yeah, I can.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I can do everything
KOLs,
there, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
so
that's
so so
impressive.
so the idea is to actually take that to a whole nother step, right? Because look, even though the simplicity of a marketplace, right? The jobs are up, the people see the job, they apply. But that we wanted to take that a whole nother step, because anybody can apply and say I can do this and I can do that, right? But ultimately, how do you
Mhm.
prove it, right? And how do you actually know that there's real value? And that's where, and this I can get into either a little bit later, or I can just kind of dive into it now, because the freelance part is coming. It's not the main feature that's going to be released right here during the hackathon that is approaching. Right now, we're more centric on creating the ecosystem of builders. But as we then get the freelance part opened up for people to sign up as the freelancers, that obviously will give them credibility within the ecosystem to start, finding, talking to teams and growing teams, and then they get awarded what we call points, almost like a tiered system. And over time, these points acquire to show that they've been working, almost like a resume for them within the Build ecosystem,
Mhm.
so that when they do apply, you don't have to go through as much details and research in this person, because they've already been given huge ecosystem value that's on chain, that you can show, oh, they've worked with already these projects and look at how well they're doing. And now, or if I want to do more research, I then can then reach out to these build projects through the ecosystem, because we're all going to be working together for the future of the blockchain itself. So communication between partnerships and or teams are going to be very ease of access within our ecosystem. So we'll be able to vet a lot of these callers, because that ultimately, that's the biggest issue, right? Is a lot of these
Yeah,
calls. There's maybe like 10 actual really valued calls in any given ecosystem, but there's 1,000 calls that are biting off of their data, right? They're just scraping their data. As soon as they post, they're posting within 10 minutes of them. And finding out what the real value comes from or who is the one actually producing that is almost impossible. So alleviating a lot of that problems with actually having somebody that has almost an on-chain resume with Build allows you to be like, okay, I'm gonna put him on the top of my three that I already looked at. Then I'll go and do research on these three instead of having to go through hundreds of people. And then on top of that, there's a whole nother value that we're bringing is we have a bot that we have that you can put in your community. Within that bot, any type of project that launches, it's going to notify these communities of a new project that's launching, and it's going to give details. Now, that all the details will be announced soon. We're working on getting that all obviously packed down so that it gives the appropriate details, but also doesn't look too gaudy and too much going on. We
Wow.
want to make sure it looks smooth and looks good, but also gives you the data you need so that you're not just going to our platform to apply it to any project. But if it says it needs a market or it needs a coal or it needs this type of exposure, we're going to be able to have that data within that bot when that project releases. And it's just this is just to kind of streamline the not only access to these jobs but also these projects, access to a lot of the value members and calls and groups and marketers out there in the industry. So it's and I know that especially that your DMs probably fill up with the hundreds of proposals, and we
Yeah.
already know that 99% of them are air, right? They're just
Yeah.
vaporware. And
Yeah.
but there is that 1%, and a lot of times that 1% in that they get overshadowed by all those proposals. You won't even click on them because you have 50 other proposals ahead of them that are bad, and you just think you put them in the mix. So that's
Wow.
another value that we're trying to alleviate too, is
Yeah.
that 1% needs to get showcased. Those guys that are working hard to produce value for marketing, produce it for business development, partnerships, a listing for centralized exchanges. Like if you can get the ones that are actually bringing value, doing good for your ecosystem, those are the ones that need to be highlighted. And so that's
Yeah.
another value that Build's trying to bring to it, not to the space overall, because it's not just
Ah,
focused on builders. The name does focus on builders, but overall, we're all builders. The marketer, the business developers, the community, the admins, we're all builders because we all have our little spot that if we weren't doing that, the entire ecosystem wouldn't function, right?
wow. Yeah. I tell you something, like, I feel like this is going to be, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this is going to be like the next level of, let's say, Upwork or Fiverr, like the next level.
Yeah, so you know what, like it's funny because I hate to compare us to something like that, but that is in my eyes the more equivalent web 2 version, right?
Yeah.
In an essence, but we're going to be taking it to a whole nother level.
Exactly.
Obviously Fiverr is great, Upwork and Fiverr, those are great utilities for that, but those I will say kind of get oversaturated by the
Mm.
anybody, because anybody can just sign up and be a part of it, but then there's no real on-chain proof. There's really nothing there showing that they're the ones that actually built that app. I can go on there and put 5 star, and I can go on there, go pay somebody $100 to put 50 comments on it that he did work on time, he did all this, like all this fake stuff on there to make my page look good, and I can go pay for a year-old Fiverr for like $100. Like these are all scammer techniques that people do all the time to make it look like they're a real person or a real value, but there isn't. And we even see that
Mm.
even in Web 2 with the marketing. You can pay for Twitter bots, you can pay for TG bots, you can make your analytics look really good, but ultimately there's no real value. And to find a way to be able to go around that and actually bring the value at the forefront, but in a proven manner. And on chain, there's nothing more proven than on chain. There's nothing manipulated about the AI, because the AI is going to be able to keep track of the entire suite's data. So you're not only looking at AI for you guys, but for ourselves, especially, we're going to be utilizing AI to facilitate data acquisition within our platform to then streamline a lot of the value and to help kind of, I would say, make our platform more efficient. So there's a lot to what we're doing, but it's not going to be, as basic. And obviously, we had to make sure we set ourselves apart. But ultimately, we wanted to be similar so that we can then start gaining those people that are on Fiverr, that are
Yeah.
on these other platforms, to say, okay, now that we're already building on Web 2 and Web 3, I mean, we're already building on Web 3, but we're on a Web 2 platform. Let's take our value to the chain and start really building, and then also be, on the Web3 platform. I think is ultimately the goal for everybody in blockchain, is to kind of do away with the old Web 2, right?
Yeah, yeah. We actually we're doing something which is similar, the same vision, almost similar vision. We're trying to what we're doing here. We learned from the. I used to be content creator a long time ago, and
Yeah, me too. That's funny.
and I used to like I noticed the weakness you can see on, let's say, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. YouTube, I would say YouTube is the best out of all what I mentioned. YouTube is the best, but I have learned many through my YouTube journey, and I realized, okay, YouTube is awesome, but it takes like according to that algorithm, it takes a long time for YouTube to discover you, for the algorithm to discover you and just put you out there. Also, the monetization of YouTube, you have to put a lot of videos and then YouTube gets the half. That's if you are monetized. That's after you get monetized, YouTube gets the half, you get the half, and uh, the monetization ways you have there on YouTube. You said we have AdSense, and then you have like super tanks, maybe if your audience loves you, or maybe if you go live, people they start donate. That's the maximum you can do. But if it, the one the what we're doing here, we're using the blockchain technology, the AI in one platform, so that we can let our algorithm, the algorithm we're creating, favorite everyone. You are there, you're creating whatever you are creating, algorithm will help you to spread your content to everyone there, to everyone who is interested in that content. Also, we're trying to make the monetization better, at least better than YouTube. I tell you something, most of people, what makes people want to go and join a platform to create content in a specific platform? I would say money. I would say monetization. That's what makes people go there and just create content there because they can make more money. Because no one wants to create content and make effort, because creating content really means a lot of effort. You write the script, you make videos, all that stuff, and in the end your video doesn't get views, you don't make money out of it, nothing. So people wants to use a platform where they can get noticed, where they can make money, where they can get a loyal community and audience. So that's what we're trying to do in NovaChain, using our own algorithm, having our own algorithm, using the AI. Everyone is equal. Everyone can be can go viral. Everyone, literally, and also using different ways of monetization. The normal monetization, the community one, all that, and also we realize that if a content creator wants wants to have a really big support from the community, they need to be very, very close. So in our platform, we are also including, beside the tools we're offering to create content, beside everything, we are also offering something similar to this space we're using now. You see, we're using now this space. I'm talking, you're talking, everyone is here. We're getting closer to each other. So we are creating similar space in our platform so that the content creators can use that space with the audience, and so that they can communicate, and they can get closer. And the closer you are with your audience, the more they love you and the more they are willing to help you or pay or do whatever you want. Also, we're offering different other options for people to make money. So yeah, the idea is to offer a better platform with more opportunities and more resources to make money for both for audience and for content creators. That's what we're trying to do. Yeah, that was
And
just an
that's
idea.
awesome. No, that's awesome. I think that the Web 2 monetization scheme that's been going on for years now only benefits the studios or the companies, from like Netflix all the way down to music industries like Spotify, YouTube. They take their cut right away, right? And then you
Yeah,
you got to wait 3 6 months. Sometimes like Spotify, it's like 18 months later for you to get paid from your song views and pay. And I think that monetization platform is only beneficial to, like I was saying, to the corpse.
Yeah.
Obviously, these creators need outlets, and I think that what NovaChain obviously is doing with what you just said is a huge win for content creators. And obviously, having the value is what they're looking for, right? If you can bring that value, you can show them you can make money, and that's their money, they earn it, and they can get it obviously a lot faster. I think is a huge value for any of them. So, and like I was saying, I used to do the same thing with content creating. Probably 10, 15 hours a day, every day for a few videos. And some of them did all right, and then other ones,
Yeah.
like you're saying, they just didn't go anywhere. And it really hurts when you spend that many hours to not get paid. And I think that figuring out ways to not only alleviate some of that pressure, that those pains are going to be a huge win, especially for the I will say the main heart of what we're all trying to do here is bring retention to the space, right? Because we're going to have
Exactly.
retail come, but we need them to stay, right? And the only way to get them to stay is to have content for them to stay. And we need the creators to make the content, but we need a platform that's willing to do what they can to make sure that the creators are taken care of, basically,
Yeah.
because they're the gold, right? And I think that once we start shifting that idea that you are the prize creator, you are the money, you are the reason why we're even here, and we're going to give you that value, I think that's going to be a win overall.
And I think build the your platform can be very good for Nova Chain because imagine let's see it this way. You have a lot of content creators. They have specific skills. They are very good at something, like really good at something. They can offer their knowledge or their skills or their service on build, and it's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the cross collaboration between the freelance side of Build and Nova Chain, what you guys are doing, brings a whole nother level to area for marketing, for growth, for analytics, for Coles to come on board and see the value of your ecosystem, get paid from you guys for bringing great content, but then on turn help market and push other projects on your chain. I think that collaboration and the birthing of new outlets for marketing and growth is one of the key factors that we all need to focus on. And we've talked, I think, in the space for like last year about education, and all this stuff. But people need to realize is education is boring. You can only read something for so long before you
Exactly.
fall asleep, or you're just like, I'm going to move on to TikTok and laugh for 15-second videos, right? So you need that content to
Yeah.
drive that attention. Like me, myself, I'll go read an hour worth of publication of learning about a new consensus and stuff, but I'm not going to sit there and do 16 hours of it every day. Even if I'm getting paid, I just
Yeah.
can't do it. But if I'm getting told, hey, you can get paid or you can be a part of an ecosystem that's going to make you laugh and you can tip your creators just like you do on TikTok, but the money's actually going to the creators overall, and it's something that's keeping you within the ecosystem, that's a win also on top of it. So being able to cross collaborate, be able to bring that value to build, but also keep it growing and scaling NovaChain is a kind of a passion that I'm already fostering with our communication. And that's why I'm glad to be able to have this AMA to tell people and show people that the value that we're bringing is much more than just, hey, look at us, come buy our token. No, this is, we want you to utilize the utilities in the ecosystem because the way it's going to integrate it with itself is going to be mass value for
Yeah.
builders and creators. So I think that builders on top of it are going to see the value of Nova Chain that way on top of it and be able to then scale their project with that outlet. So it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I have a little question regarding the security. So, how does Build ensure the security and, let's say, efficiency of its decentralized protocols?
Now, thankfully, that I can answer really good, even though I'm not the developer per se myself, or huge on
Yeah.
understanding the technical side of everything. But I will definitely say we took pride in making sure that not only did we our entire ecosystem be reviewed and looked over with third parties, and we'll be getting to all of that announcements as we get closer to TGE for our obviously smart contracts and all that. But in order for our platform to even be to announce that we have confirmation by Mexi and Gate.io and all these really top platforms, we had to go through an extensive review of every bit top down of our ecosystem, and us as a team we had to go through all of the due diligence in order to even communicate with them and further confirm the stuff. So we definitely took pride in making sure our developers for our platform were all top notch tier one developers. I'm not going to dox them per se because I'm doxing in the ecosystem, but I'm not going to do it to anybody else. If they want to come and dox, that's fine. But I will say they're all tier one developers that I tell you, they're mind blowing. They even impress me. I've been in the
Yeah.
space for 7 years with how fast, how rapidly, and hard work they are. And then, like, we had a few bugs the other day, and before I could even finish my write up on talking about the bugs, they already had started fixing them, and it was like that. It was insane. It was insane. These developers are on
Yeah.
point. But then on the rest of it, the entire team, the business model, and the actual team that are going to be running the company itself, all went through vetting with them to make sure that we're all legit. So that kind of gave the breadth of the team behind it. Is going to be hardworking, and we're all KYC docs and making sure that we're bringing value. But then also our entire platform is, as you can see, as it's being developed, it's been wonderful. And I can't really gloat about it. It's my pro. I'm part of the project, so I could say it's kind of biased. So I encourage anybody
Exactly.
and everybody to just take the time and join our platform right now. Sign up right now. See how fast, easy, seamless it is. How
Yeah.
hard the teams work. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, same here. Like, we take the security part very, very serious. Um, we on Nova Chain we use advanced encryption to ensure to secure user data and transaction, along with multi-factor authentication for added security. So we have a really we pay close attention to security part because it makes you stand out. Yeah. All
I
right.
think it's
I have one more
paramount.
question.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. I think it's paramount though, like,
No,
to touch on, when you look at security, as much as it's that boring concept, and you're like, we've done everything, it's still really important to touch on it because
exactly.
we're utilizing people's money, right? When it has to do with people's
Yeah.
money, you have to think of it how you would do it with your own money. And I know if I had gold, I'd have that locked up in a safe underground with guards on top, with guard dogs on top of it, kind of type
Yeah.
thing. And that's how you should be thinking about when you're facilitating anybody else's investment, whether it's $1 or $10,000. It should be as secure as possible. So
Yeah. Exactly. There is one more thing, which is like and I know, like everyone knows that community is everything. Like it's literally everything. So, what role do micro influencers and community engagements play in Bill's growth strategy?
well, obviously that's going to be like one of our pivotal points that we've been touching on ever since we've been now starting getting ready to release our platform. Is now to spearhead massive growth within our Coles and communities. We already had a huge amount of Coles ambassadors, and everybody wants to become a part of our project. As soon as we started talking about the project, it was a huge reception, and we haven't paid for any marketing. We haven't paid for any exposure, any Coles. All of our money went to developing our ecosystem, but it's all been in-house developed. But none of it went to marketing. But they all wanted to be a part of the ecosystem. They're like, how can we give value? Because not only are they seeing that they can bring value to their community when we launch, but to them themselves and the growth of their personal portfolio by partnering with us, by showing the growth, by showing the commitment. So I believe we have close to 100 calls. I'm not exact sure on the number. It fluctuates a
Mhm.
lot. It keeps going up. Already on board that you'll see hundreds of pinned tweets every single day being put out there with us all over Twitter. We're trending without even trying, only because we have such good news that are coming out daily. We're just tweeting about it, and we're getting so many calls to just back us up. So it's been pretty exciting. The community, though, we took an extremely organic approach to this, right? We didn't want to do no massive like airdrop campaign with any communities, any airdrop hunter communities, or any of that type of fictitious, data. Because ultimately, I told them, I was like, in order for us to build an ecosystem and a platform that's going to benefit the creators and freelancers, we have to make sure that we touch on everything organically. We have to make sure the growth is going to be organically, so that when people see it, they actually participate in it. they're not just there and then they're kind of just as a sign up and then they disappear. We want people to engage and be a part of the ecosystem and be looking forward, obviously, to the growth. But we have done some campaigns, but they're all in-house campaigns, a Zili campaign, and then a Twitter campaign to just grow our in-house Twitter. And we just have it to where we share it with friends, families, and have it kind of organically grow right there. And it's actually already shown a lot of growth. I think it was like within 2 days, we had close to 3,000 signups. For the airdrop and continued growth on our Twitter. But we're actively engaging. We're on Discord. We're talking to our community. We're obviously the most active on our Telegram and actually Twitter. Twitter has the most engagement out of all of it, which is awesome. And I think that has to do a lot with the
Yeah,
Coles really being a part of the ecosystem.
exactly. Like the same for us. Like engaging with micro calls
It's
is
huge.
like is really crucial. Yeah, it's crucial for both for NovaChain for Build to reach a wider audience. Yeah, we actually what we did, we joined a couple of events, like those content creators events, but we joined some of them in Asia and some of them in Middle East. Was in Turkey and Dubai, and so we connected with many content creators and we showed them everything. We let them try it, and they are very happy because they felt like, okay, I have freedom now to create content as I want, and I have freedom and I have a very like a good option to get closer to my audience, to build a family on that platform. So that's what they felt, and they like it, and they start tweeting about it, they start sharing it, all that. Like we had one of the biggest content creator, YouTuber in Turkey, and like he really loves it, and they already tweeted, and we had a lot of people following us from Turkey. Yeah, but yeah, social media is amazing. It's very important, and especially community, all that. And when people like it, when they like it, and when they see that you are offering something special and unique, something that has more to offer, then we start using it for sure. Yeah,
100% agree. And to touch on that micro influencer or micro call part, as I was thinking about it, when you look at it, everybody at one point was a micro call, right? And
yeah,
I think that bringing value to a more inclusive, more open environment for anybody that's going to work hard, actually bring value, but never had that opportunity to showcase themselves outside of these other guys' limelight because they get overshine. I think that's another value that we're bringing to the ecosystem as a whole. Because I do personally have about 5 or 6 um, call channels or calls, whatever you want to call them, that are lower tier, but actually bring real value and actually do hard work for you to try to promote your project. And I think those are the people ultimately that Build is going to be given another opportunity for to be able to showcase. And then especially with your Nova Chain, I think that now that Twitter is getting, I would say, oversaturated, people need a new outlet to not only showcase their community to, but to then start creating content for marketing and development.
yeah, exactly. Let me tell you something. Like the idea for me to start NovaChain was my content creation background, and I will be honest, I suffered a lot when I was creating content on YouTube, trying your best, making what like you're offering a lot of value when you are making a lot of videos, a lot of content, all that, but the algorithm doesn't love you, and I don't like the YouTube algorithm because it's just prioritize some people and it doesn't for some others. If you are too small, then I think it's hard to grow. So that was that was one of the drives that makes me want to do the Nova Chain, because I want people to benefit, all of them, small creators, big creators, everyone. Yeah.
I
Hello.
definitely agree.
Yeah, can you
Sorry,
hear me? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I heard you. I was trying to unmute. I don't know why the button is being weird, but uh, no, definitely agree with you. Overall, the landscape is growing, and we need to continually foster that growth. We don't need it at any level. I think that people need to realize that just like a project has its ecosystem, right? That you want to have a balance, right, from the tokenomics to the team to the product and community. But the same thing has to do with the overall chain itself, the blockchain, the Web3 ecosystem. There needs to be a balance, and I think that bringing new outlets for value for projects and new ways to showcase these content creators is going to be a value that the ecosystem needs. I know a couple other projects that are doing similar marketing ploys, different than what we're doing, totally, but they're trying to bring value now to Coles and marketers because we're the ones that are kind of overshadowed. We haven't, there's really been no new breaking in how marketing or how we push different projects in the ecosystem. People tried, remember 2022, put bulletin
Mm,
boards, wrap a bus with something, in the real world, but that didn't really have
mm,
any effect because nobody was paying attention to us. And why? Because there was nothing to keep them here, right? You come into the blockchain and you can trade a meme token or you can go stake something, and then what else are you doing? I think that people gravitate to the Web 2 only because of entertainment and create content creation. And I think that NovaChain, if you guys can then foster that growth of the content created and keep scaling your ecosystem, that's going to benefit the entire Web3 ecosystem as a whole.
yeah, actually, what actually what we're doing to support the decentralized applications, and which are like the key benefits for developers in NovaChain. We provide actually tools and APIs for efficient app developments and high
Oh
transaction
yeah, I was
count
going to
speed.
actually touch on that next too. That's awesome.
Yeah, and AI. We integrate a lot of AI tools, functionality, and also strong community support and developers. We are also doing something that let's say to democratize what we're doing. So anyone, I don't know if you know or not, we have our token. It's called Light token. So anyone who holds that token, he's able to help or to be part of the decision. So they can vote for any decision we want to make on the platform. Yeah, that's one of the things
Oh,
we're
so it's
using.
built-in
Yeah,
governance. That's awesome.
yeah,
No,
exactly, exactly.
I
Yeah,
think that's
governance. Yeah,
awesome. I literally just
yeah,
got done talking with a team not that long ago about governance and how important it is in the ecosystem, and I agree. I think that being able to not only leverage your community's ideas and or their support by having them be a participant in your ecosystem, I think that's a win. It kind of grows that extra factor. Like a lot of times builders, they're like, what's next? You might have a whole plethora of stuff you can deliver, but sometimes not knowing exactly what your overall community wants, or it's kind of that hindrance on what's next kind of development. But if you can have them participate, vote on it, hey, I have this stack of stuff I want to release, but what's our priority? And you give that voice to them, it not only has them support long term, but then they hold long term. So it's
yeah,
definitely going to be a win-win. And like touching on the DApp, I think that right there was one of the big things I wanted to touch on. The key parts is builders that want to build, they can then come, they can build on build while still utilizing our ecosystem and launch on your platform and their DApps on your platform, so that we can then have your ecosystem growing, but also still utilizing the powerful AI suite that we have for builders trying to build from the ground up. Because I know that a lot of builders, they start with themselves, right? They're all
mm,
by themselves. They don't have a team. They don't have nothing. And it's one of the biggest pains is actually, like I was saying, it's the automation and getting to the point where you have your idea turn into a vision, from a vision to an actual product, but then you don't know where to go from there. But having that connection with you guys, a roadmap, developers on your side can be like, I want to build on NovaChain, but I'm alone or I have a small team, but we want to utilize Build's ecosystem to be able to do it. I think that's the huge collaboration meat of this AMA that I was super excited to talk about, because I think that that what you guys are doing on the social media side and content creation is huge, but then also harnessing creativity that's already here in the ecosystem and bringing it to our platforms is going to be a big win for us also.
yeah. Do you guys have your own token? No,
I'm
you
sorry.
do.
I'm sorry, you cut out. You said
Do you have your own token?
we are getting ready to have the token launch, I believe, in September. I believe it's the 11th. I don't want to get an exact date, but no, our token isn't out yet. We're doing our building our entire infrastructure, releasing in time. Then we'll be getting ready for our IDO on multiple different platforms, and that's when our token contract will be available. And then obviously TG or the launch will be in September. So it
How
will
it's
be
gonna
coming
really,
out. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
how the token will empower build, like uh, how it's gonna work within build
Well,
ecosystem.
so we will have and that this will all be announced obviously closer to when we're ready to announce TGE
Ah, okay.
and business side of it. But I do have some information I can tell you guys about it. That obviously the plan, it's going to be the platform will be subscription based through tokens, right? So we don't want it to be where you have to come on and all the features are under one envelope, and you have to pay some extra exorbitant amount or have a bunch of tokens in order to utilize the ecosystem. But if you come on and you only want to utilize our our group chat, so that you can facilitate all your meetings with your people, or just like the Google or the calendar automation through our AI, like whatever feature you want to utilize, you can then just pay for that feature and utilize that within your subscription base by holding and utilizing some tokens. Um, but yeah, everything will be then all kind of like a purchase as you need kind of go type thing. Obviously, we'll have it to where you can pay a one nominal fee if you want and utilize the entire platform for its extent for those that want that. But there's going to be builders that come on that only want the automation for the calendar to talk to their team, or the certain parts of the ecosystem. That they are only going to necessarily need right away, and as they then continue building, might then need more parts of the automation or the AI suite of tools. But yeah, and right now though, in the beginning, we're doing free signups for anybody right now to join our platform. And as we unlock all these features as they come out, they're all going to be unlocked for builders to build and utilize during the hackathon. All of the actual monetization of the platform and or the fees of any of the features won't come until after launch. We wanted to make sure that we showed the value of the ecosystem to everybody. We're given, I believe, access to the bot that we have 100% for free to 120 communities, and then after that, during TG, we'll then monetize the bot after that, because it's going to be exclusive connection to builders building directly on chain at the very beginning. So the value alone from the bot itself is going to be a huge part of the ecosystem. And obviously you'll get a discount by utilizing the tokens to purchase your subscription with the bot. And then yeah, that's kind of the overall economy of the token. Now
Yeah,
obviously more will be announced as we get that finished out. I'm trying to like be very careful how I say it, so
yeah,
that I
yeah, yeah,
don't say something that we're talking about and stuff that we actually have planned already, like, because like I love talking about the marketing side, what we're developing, all of the utilities. But when it comes to the monetization, I might say something that we talked about a week
yeah,
ago, and my business lead was like, no, we changed this small little notation, and then I'll be the one taking the rap because I'm live on an AMA. So but no, yeah, but we want to definitely make it to where in the very beginning and as we grow and scale, it's very low, like at all. We want to make sure that the value occurs from the growth of the ecosystem versus the actual token being utilized, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
instead of you saying that we have to continually have people buy and use features for us to grow and scale, is an unsustainable way to go. But if we have it
yeah.
to where there's small amounts of need for the token, as we grow and scale, you go from 100 projects to 1,000 projects to tens of thousands of projects. No matter what, that small micro amount is going to accumulate to exponentially for buybacks and burns, supporting the chart, constantly doing campaigns, growth, and obviously paying for the team to continue to develop and grow an ecosystem that we have huge roadmap and plans for. So
Yeah, actually, like for us, uh, I believe the build token will add a lot of value to the entire ecosystem. I believe so because I see the idea behind build is amazing. Like honestly, not
thank
be-
you.
not be- not because what I swear, not because you are here, but it's true because I used to use a long time ago services from Fiverr, and Upwork. But what you guys are offering, it's something unique. Like
Yeah,
I've
that's
never.
that's that's
Yeah.
so great that you say that because I literally just got a compliment in another space that I was in. I was actually in a friend space just supporting them, but they pulled me up and said, "What are you doing right now? Just how you been? Blah blah blah. What have you been touching?"
Oh.
And I highlighted build, and one of the projects there is a massive project. They just now, I believe, reached close to 100 mil market cap.
Mhm.
They've been doing really well in the space. They literally said that same exact thing. That if we would have known that you guys existed when we were building, or if you guys did exist when we were building,
Yeah.
it would have streamlined all of, we would have been out 6 months to a year ahead of time because
Yeah.
they said that hiring and finding developers for one
Exactly.
is the hardest part because you don't want that's the biggest risk right there is
Exactly.
something within your contract, right?
Yeah.
And then they said then after that we then wanted to pay for 100 calls. They said but we didn't want to get burned by calls, and pay the wrong people. And so it was like they wish they would have had a platform that's doing all that in one. But on top of that, you take it to the next step is when the builders get here, yeah, they might be utilizing, like I say, the tokens for the features, but you're getting everything that you're using to build a project, to build a
Yeah.
company, all in one place. From a workstation where
Exactly.
you can curate all your information, a calendar where you can set up all your meetings, information,
Yeah.
and an actual hub where you can have all your meetings and have live chats like a Google Meet or WhatsApp. And so having everything all within the one ecosystem allows you for ease of access, but then on top of it, the automation side of it. So you can schedule all your meetings, you can schedule all your calendars, all your development, everything to all your people, and
Mhm.
have your AI send that out to everybody you want, update as you're going. So, like, instead of you having to actually update the AI to tell it to do it, you can tell it, I'm going to need all of this stuff planned for when we get to this milestone. Let's make these announcements at this time. When I hit this development milestone, I need this sent over to this person in this meeting scheduled. Like, you can set up all of this future stuff that the AI is going to not
Yeah.
only do for you. But then, like, let's say the date gets closer and it realizes you're not finished. It's going to be able to push that date off by a few days for you and announce it to everybody. Meeting's been rescheduled for X date without you even having to worry about it at all because you need to focus on development.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you look at now, like I think the next couple of years, the future is just the blockchain and the AI. So if people can knows how to mix them together to offer added value, I think the current business model, the current businesses we have now, like YouTube, if they don't really include in the future, I'm not talking about now, if they don't include in the future, like the blockchain, the benefits, I would say, of the blockchain plus the AI, all that things, I think people will start to move to other places. Yeah, talking about the token itself, the token, we have our own token, as you mentioned, it's called Light Token.
You just rugged out on me. You said something about talk
Yeah,
about token, and then I didn't hear anything else.
yeah, I would say like our token, Light Token, we use it uh, within our ecosystem actually to benefit uh, the platform and to benefit the users, everyone. And so actually we use it as a medium for exchange for transactions within the ecosystem, for governance, allowing people to participate in decision making, also for rewards, for staking, for facilitating the transactions and monetizations. And also we use it for enhancing user engagement and ecosystem growth. So everyone who interacts, I mean the audience, when they interact with their content creator and they interact more, they comment or whatever they interact, they will get also some rewards using our token. Yeah,
Oh, that's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's great for today. Thank you so much. Like, really, thank you. I learned a lot from you today, and it's awesome. Thank you for being here, and I want to thank everyone for being here. And I'm sure everyone has, I mean, just uh, learned and heard something really special and unique. Yeah, yeah. If you have something to add, you
I
can tell me. Yeah.
I actually have a little bit to add here at the end. I just want to say thank you. I really do appreciate your time, what you guys are doing, and I'm really excited for our partnership and collaboration and everything that we're going to build together for the future, obviously, of blockchain. I also want to highlight a couple of big names that are in here. Obviously, we got CoinMerge, a huge partner of mine. We've been doing a lot of value in the space together, and they're
Wow.
supporting Build, and we're supporting each other, and we're going to hopefully be doing some big things later on in the ecosystem as we continually grow and develop. So I'm just super excited. And then also have Jim Nasser from Acorn, which is another developer, and I tell you what, if you ever want to talk to us about Bright Mind or listen to somebody, on any of his podcasts, events that he goes to or talks, that dude brings huge value to the ecosystem. So I was just saying, I want to say thank you guys for joining and listening to me and talk about Build and Nova Chain to talk about Nova Chain and everything we're doing together. So it's just really cool to see huge names coming together and coming and listening to. I
Yeah.
will wish I could have highlighted more people, but it only gives me so many people here to say that. But I just want to thank you guys for listening in to us and hearing what we're doing and building the collaboration. Obviously, everybody that is doing great in the space, I appreciate it. Keep giving value. Keep checking us out right now. Well, our sign up is live. So those that are in the Nova Chain ecosystem that's looking to be a part of our upcoming hackathon, take the time to go to buildai.pro. The L is after the D, so Buidl AI.pro. Sign up with your idea, your project, whatever you have that you think is going to contribute to the space. We'd love to have you a part of our hackathon. We are going to be picking 50 projects from anybody or everybody that does sign up to be a part of it. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that for your community, my community, and anybody out there that is looking to build and be supported on your build as
Yeah.
we then get ready to go into TGE. But yeah, no, thank you. Please join us. Follow me. Follow Build.
Yeah.
He's in the thing there, and we would love to have any of you guys join our community, ask questions, be a part of it. Do you have anything you want to leave with us?
No, good, good. Thank you so much for being here. And please, guys, follow Manuel and follow Build and follow Nova Chain on social media. They share more stuff, more. You can know and you can understand more about what they are offering on their Twitter, on Telegram, and all that. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. I want to thank everyone and have a beautiful, beautiful day.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.